Were there enough staff on duty on the day he escaped with the right training?
Okay, well, first thing to say is I want to thank the Metropolitan Police for seizing him. I also want to stress that these are very rare events. But when it came to light, I initiated two investigations. An investigation first into the circumstances of his escape, but also to the issue of categorisation. But I also asked for an independent investigation so that when we get those conclusions, they will be rock solid. Now, in terms of, I asked for preliminary results by the end of this week. We are now at the end of the week. And I am able to say that it's clear that the relevant security protocols were in place. In other words, protocols about the head count that must be made after goods are unloaded from a lorry, for example, about the searches that should take place to a vehicle before it goes through the airlock and leaves. Those protocols were in place. And second, to your specific question, the relevant security staff were in place.
So there were enough staff and they did follow all of the rules, including on vehicle searches?
Now this is the point. So the real question is, were the relevant protocols followed to the extent that they should be? And that is precisely what we need this investigation, and indeed the independent investigation, to get to the bottom of. Because look, this clearly was a very serious matter. Yes, very rare, and much rarer incidentally than 20 years ago or so, but we've got to get to the bottom of it, and those investigations are in place.
But Minister, we know that on a very regular basis there weren't enough staff in Wandsworth Jail, and a recent report said that actually more than 30% of prison officers were either absent or unable to work. Staffing has been a repeated issue there.
Well, so staffing is something that is an absolute priority, and you mentioned right just in your opening remarks that the numbers are ticking up. It's worth reflecting an additional 4,000 or so since 2016. But
also, hang on, it's still down on 2010.
That's true.
So there was a real fall off, and then in recent years it started to tick up.
Exactly.
Let's get that completely clear.
I want to deal with this point very specifically. So, since May 2022, the numbers have gone up by 700 in that time, which is to your point. But here's the really, really important point, is that the so-called attrition rate, that's to say the rate at which prison officers leave, is down by a very meaningful amount. And that's because we've done really important things to address that. One, we've accepted in full the Prison Service Pay Review Body recommendations on pay. Second, we've invested £100 million to improve security. That's to say, every prison officer having body-worn cameras. That's important because in potentially volatile situations, you can dial down the temperature and ensure that what might have escalated de-escalates, and to really support our prison officers who do an exceptional job. It is a difficult job.